Assalamualaikum to Madam Afni. Okay, today our group would like to do group presentation about designing and information security awareness program in University Malaya. Okay, first of all, I will introduce myself. My name is SITI IDAYU binti JAMALUDIN. Okay, for the background, the University Malaya is a public research university in Kuala Lumpur. It's a Malaysian Audios University. It was founded in 1905. Originally known as King Edward VII College of Medicine. It was created to solve the shortage of medical assistant in Singapore and Penang during late 1819s. Okay, for the vision is a global university impacting the world. For the mission is pushing the boundaries of knowledge and nurturing aspiring leaders. Okay, for the objective, the ICT security policy was created to ensure that activities proceed smoothly and minimize the effect of ICT incidents. This policy is also intended to make the sharing of information irrelevant to the operational need of University Malaya for easier. This can only be achieved by ensuring that all ICT assets are protected. Therefore, the main objective of ICT security are the following. A is ensure that University Malaya is operation proceed smoothly and minimize damage of or the destruction. Okay, B to protect the interests of all parties that rely open information system from the effect of failure or weaknesses in the terms of secrecy, integrity, readiness, information validity, and communication. Lastly for objective is prevent the misuse or theft of University Malaya ICT asset. Okay, for the project background, University Malaya is also suffered the data breach on January 2019. Also is not exempt from being affected by the breach like other universities in the Malaysia. For data breach is on which is the personal data on academic and non-academic staff, including a pay slip, bank account, details that leak on animal file sharing. Payslip also contain bank name, account number matched with the staff name, MyCard and ID number. Other than that, also faces a cashless payment and record system has been hacked. The data the data can manipulated by the third parties that such as scammer or cyber criminals.
Hi, Assalamualaikum, Madam. My name is Siti Aminah MADIHAH binti AZMAN. From this slide, I want to explain about solution and approach. Based on the issue of data leakage in a government university, there are numerous solutions and approach that can be developed to address this issue. If a problem arises in their organizations, they must provide solution and approach. The same is true for the institute industry. When an issue arises, top management, we provide a solution and approach to each problem. To explain the direction and management support for information security in accordance with University Malaya requirement and relate legislative requirements. First and foremost, policy implementation. Policy maintenance is the second approach and solutions. The UMICT security policy is subject to revision and amendments as technology, application, and procedure of legal and social importance change. The procedure for maintaining the UMICT security policy is as follows. A. Identify and define the necessary amendments. B. Submit the proposed amendment in writing to ICTSO for presentation and approval by the ICT Security Committee meetings. C. Changes are to be agreed upon by ICTSC and communicate to all users. And D. This policy should be reviewed at least once a year.
Okay, for the financial cost, this slides above show the financial expenses of for the security ICT in University Malaya that need be invest. UM need to be invest is the new 3 employees for ICT security department, which is ICT expertise of ICT security policy and 2 assistant ICT security policies. Requirement new hiring is to protect the all data inside of University Malaya, not only not only for staff data, since since University Malaya is one of IPTA in Malaysia that also have a student data there and can reduce leak of data. Besides that, UM also can reduce cost of hire the third parties. This is show good implement because UM can secure the data of their staff and the student from the third parties lah.
Assalamualaikum, my name is AMIRAH binti ZULHARI. Today I would like to explain about Computer security incident handling. Security incident handling happen in many organizations. That is why an organization must well prepared to handle this issue. Based on we doing research at University Malaya, the main objective is policy to ensure that handle it quickly and effectively to minimize the issue. Therefore, if incident occurs, they have to report it to ICTSO and UMCERT immediately. There are several types of security incident handling, such as first is information missing. Second is any unauthorized use of information system or suspected. Third is the occurrence of an unusual system event. And fourth is trial trespassing, fraud, and incidents that are not expected. After incident happen, ICT security have to respond the incident procedures. ICT response is an organization to addressing managing the security incidents. The aim is to handle this situation where for limits to damage or reducing recovery times. In there are step procedures response including which related to NIST. Incident life cycle such as preparations, detection and analysis, containment and evaluation and recovery. In there implement the response procedures. First is detect ICT security incidents. Second, they have to conduct preliminary investigation on the incident, which is 1 working day. Third, identify IP address of the hacker and take actions. Fourth, forward the report incidents to the system administrator or ICT restoring. Fifth, give feedback from ICT representative about status of action taken. And sixth, update ICT security incident statistic reports. Awareness and training. Security awareness training is program are designed to help user and employee understand the role they play in helping to gain information security breaches. Benefit: help employees understand proper cyber hygiene, the security risks associated with their action, to identify cyber attack they may encounter via email and via web. So, based on they use general user, which is their ensure policy are read and understand by general user. The strategy allow user to ask questions and receive specific guidance and allow the organization to collect required letter of compliance. Although for training delivery method that use is distant learning or web seminar, which is trainees receive a seminar presentation at their computers, such as teleconference for voice to feedback. Okay, first, security awareness. The program is important for workers and an organization. It's used for daily basic for workers. So at they use a method is poster. Security consideration in computer support and operations. System administration and tasks external to the system that support its operation by maintaining documentation. It include fixing software or hardware problems, loading and maintaining software, and helping user resolve problems. There are important security considerations within some of major category of support and operation are. First is user support. Okay, first, user support is take a place through help desk, which is support entire organization. The system administrator normally provide direct user support. Second is software support. Software support is protected by corruption. There are many elements of software support. One is controlling, which is function to inspect or test software before it's loaded. Backup. Backup is function for critical contingency planning. Media control. Media control is variety of measure to provide physical environmental protections and accountability for tapes, diskettes, printouts, and others. It's designed to prevent loss when stored the system. Okay, for the labeling. Labeling is physical labeling used to identify special handling instruction to locate information. And logging. Logging used to support accountability. Okay, integrity verification is electronic store information read into computer system. Okay, for the physical access protection used to limit problem by lock the door. And maintenance is requires of physical or logical access to the system, which is support and operation staff, hardware or software to maintain the system.
Dengar lah dalam ni.
Hello, my name is NURFADHILAH binti Muhammad TIMYATI. Today, I would like to present about physical and environment security. Physical and ecological security program carries the different make sure or control the sheet association from loss of network and stability of PC preparing. The PC preparing brought about by Bulgaria, fire flood deliberate, obturation, inevitable harm, mechanical hardware, disappointed, and force disappointment deaths. Actual, the safety afford both adequate and manage predictable dangers and ought to be tried independently for their variety and usefulness. The figure out which supervisor are labeled arrange, subsidizing, and activities assure security of data center. Okay. The next is a ground data center. From the ground data center, the data, the setup pattern by the actual security and control whole evolution that will incorporate the accountability as they identify with your many department for the ground data center. Okay, in the ground data center, we made a 7 point. For the first point is ecological control. Second point is characteristic event control. Third point is supporting utilities control. The fourth is actual protection and access control. Five, framework reliability. 6, actual security awareness and training. And the last one is a alternate course of action. Okay, decide if a fitting interest is actual security gear, alert, lock, or other actual access control. The distrusting from identify from high security region and so forth has been made, and if the control have a tired and work effectivity. Okay, and then the control give a capable administrator direction in deadline with hazard. For instance, if the current interest is actual security control is insufficient, that may permit unprovoked admitted to work and organization gear. Leaking finance for the key situation with obligation regard IT actual security may bring about helpless tracking or helpless checking consistent and with arrangement and guideline and general poor actual security. So keep the protection both of physical and electrical security control and strategies, and set up the timetable for the assessment, updating, and alteration for the data center, ground data center. Okay, that's all. Continues from the before slide. Okay, the give capability administrator direction in deadline with hazard. For instance, if the current interest in actual security control is interested, this may permit unprovoked admittance to work and organization gear. Leaking finance for by situation with obligation regarding IT actual security may bring about helpless consistent and arrangement and guideline and general poor actual security. Keep the protection void of physical and ecological security control and strategies, and set up the timetable for their assessment, update, and alteration. Make a group of physical ecological security outside the administration staff, or occasionally survey the validity of the action taken and give input on their heinous and unsuitfulness. The next slide is the identification and authentication. Okay. The data from many company in Malaysia is biometric authentication. Okay. For each the certain special highlight for so far both a physical and social attributed that are not the same as every other person in the world. So the first of small thing that strike a chord when discussing interesting highlight is the finger expression, which are actual trademark. So anybody in person in Malaysia or the world, the trademark is the finger. Nobody's is same skin at fingerprint. Okay, so the most popular type of biometric fingerprint. Many use identify from fingerprint like JPN or many others company, but must be a fingerprint. Unique finger impression instrument and broadly view as a season and most create kind of biometric. Okay, the finger is not difficult to catch and can check it by looking at the specific circle, curve, and word as example. Okay. Okay, the second is facial recognition. Facial and acknowledgement program estimate a made at the first of the face, include the distance between the eyes and the separation from the jaw of the brown, a numerous different focus on the individual face. Okay, it make a gathering information, high level security chain into the encoded question mark. Okay, the third is a voice recognition. Assure the state individual vocabulary include the nose, mouth, and desired sound grade. Typically, the manner in which a individual is say something, development, variety, tone, speech, emphasizes additional, interesting to every person. So the main properties remain consistent information from both physical and social biometric make a abstract voice film. Okay. And then the iris recognition. In the natural eyes, the iris hard flattition looking like a ring. On the of a chain that you look carefully, you will discover it is made a numerous killer ticking skid in contraction. These twilight contraction are the muscle that assist to change state of the student and just permit suitable mixture of the light of the eyes. And then retina scan. Retina scripts catch the frontal inside eyes by utilizing extraordinary close infrared camera. The crew picture is the first processes to upgrade the picture, then at the point preparing again as a biometric format used during both examination and checking. The next one is a keystroke dynamic. Keystroke dynamic element influence the way that individuals follow distant example while construct a console of keypad. The keystroke method can be utilized both a biometric profile which be utilized a disjunctive from him confirm from person or no. Will me take a time to press each key, stop between key press, and later compress 2 seconds or minutes. And a few times different measures are taken to trade keystroke profile a client. When we added with keystroke dynamic, we must be element secret key based on security can improve multi-fault without presenting any greater quickly. Okay, the last point is signature recognition. From the signature recognition, for me, the mark the signature maybe the biometric strategy use the examination to active work of the marking estimated ordinary facilities. Okay, for the example, pen visual, stroke request, tendency, and speed. And estimation are carefully recorded, then their point data utilization consequently make a bio profile to further confirmation. Okay.
In this slide, we can see there are 3 logical in access control in University Malaya. Firstly, access control policy. The objective is control access to informations. Secondly, user access management. The objective is control user access to ICT assets. The last one is network access control. Objective is prevent unauthorized access and unauthorized use of network service. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, next is audit trail. An audit trail is a set of documents that validate the transaction you record in your your book accounting. It helps the organization track and verify the accounting transaction to its sources. Okay, the recorded transaction in your books, you base the entries on your business transaction and events. The event can include things like purchases, sales, expenses. In UMICT policy, it's require a record of every transaction. To audit true information contains the user identity, the sources used, change information, dates and times of activity, network and application use. Next, the user access activity to the ICT system is either valid or otherwise. Lastly, the details of audit is abnormal system activity or activity that does not have security features.
Okay, for cryptography control, in UST Malaya UN, the main objective is to protect confidentiality, integrity, and authenticity of the information through cryptographic control, which is method of storing and transmitting data in the form that only those intended for can read and process. Encryptions, the process of converting data from plain text to a form that is not readable to unauthorized party, known as ciphertext. User should encrypt sensitive information of official secret information at all times. Digital signature, a type of digital certificate that provide that sender of the message or the owner a document is authentic and the integrity of the message document is intact. A digital signature certificates uses to asymmetric cryptography, and this is not scanned version of someone handwritten signature or computer generated handwritten signature. In UM, it use digital signature is required for all users, especially those who manage the transaction of official secret information electronically. Public Key Infrastructure (PKI). Management of PKI must be done effectively and securely to protect the key from being utterly destroyed and exposed during the validity period of the key.
In my conclusions, the discussion of this research was based on two objectives. Firstly, analyzing the challenge faced by Malaysian company in cybersecurity and determining solution for Malaysian company to overcome cyber security challenge. It is the best practice for organization to just challenge two information asset at the same level as it would a legal, financial, or operational risk. As the result of this research, it has been discovered that implementing cybersecurity in a company generally necessitates a large investment. The budget should be considered early in the process, as it is derives from the company's strategic plan. Aside from that, the growing digital connectivity and automation of virtually all business process across the entire value chains has resulted in the development of agility. Besides, very high level of threat has emerged, significantly raising the risk of cybersecurity. Hardware authentication is especially important in the Internet of Things, where the network of connect device ensure that any device seeking to connect has the right to connect to that network. Finally, I am representative of my group. I would like to thank you a lot for the guidance. That's all from us. Thank you, madam. Bye.